They say that if you want to ruin a country, all you have to do is ruin their schools. Traditional education is evolving, and billionaires are taking charge in shaping the future generation. And they're doing it in a very particular way. Their main goal is to teach their kids how to thrive in an unknown future. And in this video, we're going over exactly how they're doing it. Welcome to Alux. Number 1, they've got a healthy attitude toward learning. The first thing the new generation learns is how to respect the learning process itself. Nobody hates school here, they love it. One of the fastest ways to lose a kid's interest is to bore them with the trivial, repetitive tasks. And their parents know this, so the first thing they do for their kids is to build an environment where learning is actually fun. Now, of course, the kids still have to learn the basics, but they don't have to do it in the same boring way that hasn't changed in hundreds of years. And they do this through number 2, engagement. These kids get to learn by doing, not just by reading a book, and the easiest way to keep them engaged is through games and play. The human brain is designed to imagine, learn, and adapt, and games happen to be the best way to teach youngsters that. There's no sitting in class, no go to your seat, no open to page 3. Everything is done through games. They leverage technology in every possible way. While other kids spend hours glued to their mommy's iPad binge-watching Cocomelon for 5 hours straight, these kids are playing programming games. Nothing too fancy, of course, nothing too complex, but enough to keep them engaged and having fun. And all of this creates a healthy attitude toward the entire process of learning. Their parents know that they're raising kids for a future that hasn't been invented yet. It's more important to learn how to learn so they can handle themselves for whatever their future holds. Number 3, experience over grades. These kids don't get bothered with grades. In fact, in many highly educated countries like Finland and Japan, grades don't even exist for the younger generation. In most classrooms, pupils speak more than the teacher. They're there to learn how to function in society and as human beings, not to be benchmarked against each other. The focus is on developing character and helping the kids find how they fit into the world. The parents are interested in what their kids are good at, not how good their kid is overall. Number 4, there is no curriculum. Rich parents know that their kids have various ways of being smart. Some have inclinations toward art, others to music, others to math, and so on. There are no standard tests and no yearly material that every kid needs to get through. In fact, their teacher changes what they decide to teach year to year based on what's happening in the world. And speaking of the teachers, they're paid a lot of money and they need to be real-world professionals, meaning people who actually performed in their respective fields, not just people who read about it. Only the top-tier talent gets the chance to teach the young and rich generation. Number 5, short lessons, long breaks. You can't get a full-grown adult to sit still for 5 hours, so how the hell can you expect a kid to do it? In the school of the rich, sessions are short, no more than 30 to 45 minutes, and the breaks are long. They develop high-functioning individuals, not factory workers. The structure is more flexible, the environment friendly, and everything feels like home. And this is exactly how we've designed the Alux app to work. We curate information on a wide variety of personal development topics and present them to you in 10 to 15-minute sessions. Such a small daily commitment really can expand your life in ways you never thought possible. We do all the heavy lifting for you and provide you with the most insightful golden nuggets every single day for the same price as a few lattes a month. And even better, when you have a paid subscription to the app, you have access to all of our 14 to 21-day premium learning packs, and we release a new one every month. Go to Alux.com/app to get started. Number 6, promote curiosity. The rich parents know that curiosity is the driving force, so their schools are built around letting kids be as curious as possible and give them all the tools to explore whatever they feel like. These kids play with things that you might not even know exist. Number 7. Constructive disagreement. Another thing these kids are exposed to is different ideas and angles. They understand early on that there's no universal truth. They learn how to develop their own points of view and also how to understand others. They are constantly put in situations where not everyone will agree with each other and they have to find common ground. This builds up their backbone and strengthens their ethics. And it also helps to avoid from raising assholes and entitled pricks. Yeah, we said it. Number 8. Teamwork. There's a big emphasis on teamwork in the School of the Rich. The kids learn early on that some things require cooperation. They're constantly given complex problems and simulations that are impossible to solve if they work alone. And this encourages them to learn how to communicate with others, how to help and ask for help, and how to be followers, managers, and leaders. Number 9. Risk management. Probably one of the most interesting and innovative things that these kids learn is how to manage risk. In traditional schools, the only risk you can take is to cheat. So you develop a mentality of either being obedient to the system or to go against the rules, which under these circumstances is basically like becoming a criminal or something. That's where the saying YOLO comes from. You either play it safe or go all in, a strategy which often ruins lives. But these kids learn a whole different approach. They play games where risk is an important factor, and they need to learn how to manage their risk exposure. They could decide to play it safe, or risk a little, or risk a lot and see what happens in a safe environment that promotes this kind of critical thinking. And speaking of which, number 10, critical thinking. One of the biggest flaws of traditional education is the lack of any sort of critical thinking development. There's nothing to think about, all you have to do is memorize. Well, not for these kids. They've got nothing to memorize. If they need any kind of information, they're free to look it up on the spot. They play games where they have to manage resources, delegate tasks, and find solutions to fictional problems in order to win. And this type of activity creates not only thinkers, but doers, individuals who understand how things work and have the ability to make them even better. Number 11, decision making. In this type of school, there's no right or wrong answer, only what you decide to do. The learning happens through the outcome of your decisions. The kids learn how to make decisions on their own. They constantly get better at analyzing data to make better educated guesses. Their parents know that they can only influence their path for so long, and eventually their kids will be in charge of their own lives. So learning how to make better decisions is just as important as basic math. Number 12, experimentation. Another way these kids get more engaged is through experimentation. They're not given the answer, just the facts of the problem, and they're encouraged to find the answer themselves by trying out different things. Experimentation enables their mind to be creative and think outside the box. And add this to the fact that there are no grades or the danger of failing a class, and you get a generation equipped with all the tools for innovation and progress. Number 13, they get to do things firsthand. These kids don't learn geography by looking at the map. They actually go there and see for themselves. It's the same for any other field. They actually use their hands to make stuff, their eyes to observe stuff, and their minds to break stuff down. Some even learn crafts like woodworking to develop their motor skills and finesse. They learned by actually doing the thing rather than just reading about it in a book. Number 14, it's global. Contrary to popular belief, most of these schools are online. Kids from Asia, Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and all corners of the globe learn and cooperate with each other. They even get a chance to learn about other people's cultures and traditions while also learning multiple languages. Kids are sponges of information, and this type of school makes the most out of their natural curiosity. Number 15. It's not just for the rich. Some schools are exclusive and expensive, but most of them are accessible to anyone. Parents around the world are opting more and more to introduce their kids to this kind of education. Ad Astra Academy, a school that's sprung from Elon Musk's private school, is one example. They make this type of education affordable to anyone. Now, this video isn't sponsored by them or anything, we just appreciate anyone who shares our interest in education and development. But some people, they're reluctant to do things differently. After all, people would rather change their dreams than change how they do stuff. But in a world where the future is uncertain and we need thinkers, leaders, and doers, an educational revolution is long overdue. Thanks for watching this video, Aluxers. We hope you learned something valuable today. If you did, give us a like, hit the bell icon to never miss an upload, and don't forget to subscribe.